Germany was a machine everyone feared.
Aimed in for Götze! Mario Götze for Germany!
In for Germany, Brazil in real trouble. They're in dire trouble now. We have a World Cup record.
Ruthless, unshakable. 12 years ago, they didn't just win a World Cup, they demolished the host nation, 7-1. Then, beat Argentina in the final, and walked away looking like the most complete team the sport had ever built. With a system that other teams tried to copy, a strong pressing structure that produced players like Müller, Kroos and Neuer all at once. Now, look at them. Group stage in 2018 as the defending champions, one of the biggest humiliations in World Cup history. Then, another group stage exit. On the summer they were supposed to use to rebuild some credibility, Germany didn't even make it past the round of 32, losing to Paraguay on the penalties in a shootout defeat so shocking. 3 World Cups in a row, 0 knockout wins since the night they lift the trophy. And just days ago, Nagelsmann is leaving Germany team. So, what happened to Germany? And can hiring Jürgen Klopp really fix something this broken? To understand how far Germany has fallen, you must understand how high they once stood. The 2024 team wasn't an accident, it was a final product of a football revolution. Germany started more than a decade earlier, after the humiliating group stage exit at Euro 2000, that forced the entire country to rebuild its academy system from scratch. Every club in the Bundesliga was required to invest in the youth development. Talent identification became a national obsession, and by 2014, that investment produced arguably the most well-rounded squad in the sport, a team that didn't just have superstars, but had structure, depth, and identity at every single position. Joachim Löw had built a machine, but machines in maintenance, and almost immediately after lifting the trophy, cracks start to show that nobody wanted to admit out loud. By 2018, the same golden generation was aging, the identity had gone stale, and Löw made selection decisions, like leaving out the informed Leroy Sané that baffled almost everyone watching. Germany went to Russia as defending champions and left in the group stage, losing to South Korea, in a result still considered one of the great World Cup shocks of the modern era. It wasn't just a bad tournament, it was the first sign that something deeper had broken. Löw stuck around for one more cycle. Euro 2020 offered flashes of hope before Germany crashed out in the round of 16. The final stepped away after the tournament and Hansi Flick took over, a coach with an incredible resume. Surely this was a reset. Instead, 2022 happened. Germany went to Qatar and produced their second straight group stage exit at the World Cup, a result so alarming it triggered genuine questions about the country's entire football pipeline, not just the coaching, not just the squad, the whole system. By 2023, Flick was gone too. That's when Julian Nagelsmann walked in. If you are enjoying this breakdown, hit like and subscribe, because what happens next could define German football for the next decade. Nagelsmann's appointment felt different, almost immediately. He was young, just 36 at the time, younger than Neuer, already known across Europe for his tactical intelligence at Hoffenheim, Leipzig and Bayern Munich. Germany needed fresh ideas, and on paper nobody in the pool of available coaches looked sharper than him, and for a while it worked. Hosting Euro 2024 on home soil, Germany played some of their most exciting football in years, reaching the quarterfinals, ranked 5th overall. It wasn't a trophy, but it felt like a genuine progress, enough for the federation to extend his contract, not once but twice, eventually locking him through Euro 2028. Germany also reached the semi-finals of the Nations League. The pieces looked like they were finally coming together. Then came the World Cup 2026, and everything happened in the worst possible way. Germany won their group. On paper, that should have been a sign of stability returning, but in a round of 32, they came up against Paraguay and lost on penalties, suffering their first World Cup shootout defeat, a result that shattered one of German's football's oldest and proudest myths, that when it comes down to penalties, Germany simply does not lose. For a country that built an entire football identity around discipline, losing this way in this moment cut deeper than a normal early exit. It wasn't just elimination, it was a loss of identity. Nagelsmann initially said he wouldn't resign. Days later, he changed his mind, telling the country the players deserve what he called a fresh start, and stepping down himself, rather than waiting to be pushed. 3 straight World Cups, 0 knockout wins since 2024. And now, Germany was searching for his 4th head coach. This time, they didn't have to search very far. Jürgen Klopp had been sitting in the studio the entire tournament, working as a pundit for German television, watching watching his country football fall apart in real time. Klopp's resume barely needs an introduction at this point. He turned Dortmund into Bayern Munich's biggest rival, with 2 Bundesliga titles and the Champions League final. He then rebuilt Liverpool from a club that hadn't won the league in 3 decades into Premier League and Champions League champions, using a version of ginger pressing that changed how an entire generation of coaches thought about football. He stepped away from Liverpool in 2024, took a global football role with Red Bull, and has spent the last 2 years watching from the sidelines. Now, according to Klopp himself, talks with the Germany Federation are already underway. He admitted the timing isn't perfect, given his existing Red Bull contract, but he's openly said the pull toward the national team job is stronger than it's ever been. This finally feels like the moment everything lines up, but there's an uncomfortable question nobody's fully answering yet. Klopp has never actually managed international football before. His entire career has been built on daily contact with players, training ground repetition, building a specific emotional culture inside the club, over years, not weeks. International management doesn't work that way. You get your players for a handful of days every few months. You can drill a pressing system into a group the way you can do at a club. Only 2 managers in the sport's entire history have won both a World Cup and a Champions League. So can Klopp turn Germany into a machine again? Nobody actually knows yet. What we know is what Germany is hoping for, not just a new head coach, a reset of belief, a symbol that the country's football identity, the discipline, the resilience, the refusal to crack in big moments hasn't disappeared. It's just been misplaced. Germany still has serious talent to work with. Florian Wirtz is exactly the kind of player who might benefit from working under the manager who understands Anfield better than anyone alive. Jamal Musiala remains one of the most gifted attacking talents in European football. The academy pipeline that built the 2024 golden generation hasn't vanished. It's just producing talent that hasn't yet been shaped. That's the job now, not finding new players, finding an identity again. Because the most alarming part of Germany's last 3 World Cups was never really about the talent. It was about what happened at the moment things got difficult. Group stage collapses, penalty shootout failures. If Klopp takes his job, that's a real project, not just tactics. Rebuilding the nerve of an entire nation's football team. So here's the question: can Klopp bring Germany back to the top of world football, or is international management simply a different game? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'd love to hear if you think this is the right move for German football. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see the World Cup prediction I made on this exact team, click the video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Follow for more.